Hello and welcome back to Redirecting. As you can see from the title, I'm going to be talking about the fact that a lot of people are losing their minds over the casting of a young, beautiful black female as Ariel, the Little Mermaid. Notice I said young, black, and beautiful because a lot of the memes that are being passed around as their portrayal of what they believe this black mermaid looks like is a very mannish looking drawing with whiskers and mustache and beard and facial hairs and things of that nature to kind of give a depiction of what these people actually see. That's their psychotic break that they have penciled in or drawn, and they're bringing that to light and presenting that as what they see, and they're saying, not my Ariel. I don't really want to focus on the film, The Little Mermaid, only the fact that these people, and what's amazing is I don't even have to identify the race of these people. Sometimes I like to do that. My people get frustrated because they think I'm protecting or hiding these people's identity. This is because you all, those of you who get all hung up and caught up in those things, you're just kind of one-sided in your thinking, and you don't understand how the game is played sometimes. See, how can you be accused of racism when you're not identifying a race? If I'm able to speak about something and never identify a race of or a particular group, but through what I'm saying, you're able to determine who I'm talking about, then that proves that people know who does what in this world and to whom. If I were to talk about the fact that Africa was colonized, I'm not being racist. I'm stating facts. And I didn't even tell you who did it. But you know based on facts who it was. You see, and so that's what I'm doing here. So for those of you who want to say, why hide these people's identity, please save it. I know what I'm doing, okay? I know exactly what I'm doing. I have plenty of videos on this channel where people have been identified, whether it's my people or other people, okay? Plenty of videos. So just let me do what I'm doing. But anyway, it amazes me how the portrayal of Ariel as a melanated mermaid, which is a fictional character anyway, is causing so many people to just be so angry. It's bringing out some literal demons. I believe it's demons and spirits, because a normal person, a normal human being who really thought that everyone was equal wouldn't care. Because we're talking about a fictional character. Now, if we were talking about people who historically looked one way based on facts, and now they're being painted another way, that's different. But we're talking about animated creatures or fictional characters. Now, these people are up in arms, going out of their minds, blasting the internet with all of these memes depicting this Ariel as something other than beautiful, and saying all kinds of things that they wouldn't dare let their children watch this. There is something mentally wrong with people who act like that, and nobody is talking about it. They want to give you a term, and for me, it's not just about someone being racist. For me, it's about a mental and a spiritual breakdown in this person or these people's minds. That's what it's about. There is a demonic force that causes them to act so unseemingly. And most people are not talking about it. They don't understand the problem behind, or the demons behind, this type of behavior, this type of rage. The rage is so thick that it's become normal, especially here in America, Now, it's something we see around the world, don't get me wrong. It's definitely all around the world that we see this. But here in America, it seems to be an overdrive that any action taken by particular groups is seen as criminal by this other group, and their behavior is over the top behavior because they are unrepentant, sociopathic reprobates who have a history of doing some damnable things to many groups around the world. Not just one, not just two, but many groups. They have a history of it, setting precedent after precedent of this rage that comes forth for no reason. But yet, it's being looked at as if it's the norm. It's being excused. There was an incident that was just recently talked about where one of them sexually violated a young woman. And the judge said because he is a good student, comes from a good family, goes to a good school, and has a bright future, that we couldn't dare ruin that. And why did the girl even go to the law with this in the first place? Why would you want to ruin his life like this? Now, this is what the judge stated. So this shows you that this is a system of diabolical evil that protects those that benefit from the system. And those on the outside of the system, if you dare object to how the system is ran, they consider you the troublemaker. How dare you tell us of our wrongdoings? But one thing that is becoming very obvious is that their sins have reached unto heaven, and the judgment of the Most High Yah has been activated. Many of them don't think it will happen. They don't understand that it's already happening. They look around and they say to themselves, oh, we are prosperous. Who can bring us down? Who can do anything to remove us from power? That's what many of them think, especially those, in my opinion, that are lower class. Because they say, well, even though I'm not a part of the top 1%, they feel like since we look like the top 1%, that's good enough to support and protect this system, even though many are not even benefiting from this system because they've been tricked in their minds. There is a mental breakdown that has happened. This is why we will see some of them who are getting public benefits, getting welfare, running their mouths about other groups or racial groups of people getting welfare, while it's like a hypocrisy that is off the chain. They're talking about other groups that get it when it's more of them who actually receive it than anyone else. And also the fact that they are a part of a group who will get privilege over other people. They don't want to talk about the fact that there is no equal opportunity employment. They know that the system works for them, but they want to pretend like they don't know. They want to pretend like it's all in our heads, gaslighting us as if we are insane, like we don't know what we're talking about. There's something to be understood. I want to say something, especially to you younger generations of my people. Some of you have your heads in the sand because you're buddy with people who look like the people that I'm referring to, and you refuse to believe that there are large segments of the population, of that population, that can't stand you. Now, your around the way friends may not be that way. You may feel comfortable with them, in which with anybody, I would say you better be careful. Enemies come in black and white. With anyone, be careful. But many of you take it to believe that you have nothing to fear or nothing to be concerned with. because you are friends with one. Guess what? During the time that we had many as friends, friends that would even come into our home, friends that even care for our family, I still understood that there were those from that group or from this group of people that were very dangerous and diabolical and were filled with this perpetual hatred for my people. Don't be foolish enough to think that just because you have friends that you care about, that you don't have anything to worry about or be concerned about. Whenever something so simplistic as Disney casting a black girl as Ariel, as a fictional character that never even existed. There's no mermaid swimming around underwater that looks like any human being, that lives like that. This is a fictional character. But anytime you have a group of people who will literally go out of their minds and kick up or stir up a buzz so bad, filled with all of their psychotic hatred, then that group of people need to be watched, because they have a history of this very thing, a history of lying, manipulating, deceiving, cheating, mistreatment of others, persecution of others, psychotic breaks, unrealistic attitudes towards people who have been victimized by people who look just like them. In their minds, we should let the past be the past. Never even bring it up again. Even if it's something very recent. This is why I talk about how whenever one of our people are taken down by one of them, the news people always shoving the microphone in their face, asking them if they forgive the person who took their loved one away from here. That is sick. Those people who think and act like that are sick-minded individuals, and they are filled with a demonic presence that at one point in their life is going to come oozing through their veins. And that same demonic presence is going to bring them to their own demise. They don't understand how principalities, demons, and spirits work. Eventually, the check becomes due. The payment becomes due. And you have to deal with all of that stuff that you had built up in you, all of that rage and that anger and that mistreatment of others, that hatred of others. You have to deal with all of that. A lot of people, they don't believe in the Bible. And those who do believe in the Bible, they think that punishment and judgment is only slated for people who don't look like them. And they laugh, snicker, and point when they see judgment on other people, but they don't realize that God, as they call him, is a righteous judge, and that everyone, and I do mean everyone, will reap what they have sown. For all of the wickedness and the rottenness in your heart, regardless to who you are. Even if you don't consider yourself as being wicked or rotten, but you have this thing within you that will not allow you to connect to the truth. You always see things at a slant towards your own people. You cannot be honest. See, a lot of us, people who look like me, we know how to be honest. We know that we have some people in our race that are a trip. We know that some of our people are rotten to the core, and we will be the first to say it. But some of these other people will never admit it. As a matter of fact, they don't see any wrong. This is why you will have a judge saying, oh, he had a good upbringing, or his parents raised him good. He went to a good school. Even though he did something horrible to a young woman, in that reprobate judge's mind, he does not deserve to be punished. And so this is why their minds have been turned over. What we are witnessing in real time is minds that are turned over, hearts that have been hardened, meaning there is no repentance for them. They will not be able to repent. When they draw their last breath, it will not be in peace that they will meet their Father or their Maker, because they have pleasure in unrighteousness. They don't have a love for the truth. And although they call themselves Christians, the one that they call God is going to say, "Depart from me, I never knew you." Never. You were never a part of me, never a part of my body, never a part of my grace, because of the wickedness and the rottenness in your heart. You will not stand before me in peace. Those are the dreaded words that many of these reprobates will hear. Right now, as they live upon this earth, they think that nothing will ever touch them, that no one could ever defeat them. And this is why they panic when even the slightest thing, something such as a little cartoon, portrays a little black girl as a fictional character. They can't deal with it because there has already been a psychotic break. That spirit that most people call racist is really more to it than that. It's a sociopathic reprobate mind that we are dealing with. And so this is what we see happening in real time right now before our eyes. We are getting a chance to see what many of our ancestors witnessed every single day. Every single day our ancestors had to live and deal with the harshness of these criminal minds as they go about doing things and justifying their actions and finding themselves not guilty, having no sorrow or remorse for the things that they have done to others. Will even say that I won't lose an ounce of sleep at night over this. That is a sociopathic, psychotic reprobate. Now, who am I talking about? The people I was describing, I did not identify any race. But this is yet further proof, because many times I've done this before in the past, and some of these very people will come on my video or my post and declare how racist I am for exposing who they are. That again shows that they are very, very detached from reality, and no truth lies within them. Wicked and rotten to the core. I'm out of here, family. Be sure to ring the bell to be notified of new uploads on this channel, and also comment, share, like, and subscribe.